Hello everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about copper, the pink metal. So copper is element 29 in the periodic table of elements, and if you're wondering how it got its name, it's actually got its name from an island in the Mediterranean called Cyprus. It comes from the Latin name from, Greek and or Latin name for Cyprus, which was Kypros, and it ended up becoming Kupros. And, through a few language changes, you get copper. Copper has a melting point of 1984 Fahrenheit, also known as 1084 Celsius. Copper is also a chalcophile, not a calciphile. It doesn't necessarily like calcium. It likes chalcogens, which is the group that oxygen is in. But it likes all of them, not just oxygen. So that means that generally you will find copper in some sort of combination with a chalcogen, whether that's sulfur, selenium, or tellurium, or oxygen. But you'll find it in minerals that contain those as well. It is also found native. It is found in its native form. It's a little bit more rare now because a lot of copper way back in the day was smelted from native copper, but it is still found in its native form on occasion. So it's one of the rare elements that you'll find in its native form. Now, I mentioned earlier that it is pink, orange, that sort of color. But a weird thing about copper is that it also burns green. Another interesting thing about copper is that it's in the same group, the same chemical group as silver and gold. Get copper, then silver, then gold. Really cool in my opinion anyway. Now as for copper's history. So, copper's been used for a long time, and that's a bit of an understatement. Originally, people would work with native copper because it was the easiest to get. That kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of human history. It was first smelted and stuff like that, and pretty much only used in its native form, in its pure form, until we started alloying it with tin to make bronze. And thus, we issued in the Bronze Age, aptly named, I guess. And another fun fact about the history of copper, it actually is found, or used to be found at least, a lot in Sweden. Specifically in the mine in, I'd like to say Falun. I don't know. It was known as the Great Copper Mountain. In fact, there was so much copper there that Sweden actually, for a while, had a copper-based currency, or a copper-backed currency. We all use the gold standard. Sweden used to use the copper standard. So as far as its modern uses are concerned, though, because we don't really necessarily use it as the basis of our currency. I mean, we use it in our currency, but we don't use it as the basis of our currency. So we use copper in alloys, currency, wiring, decoration, jewelry, and even clothing. So, now obviously we'll use copper to make bronzes and, brass and stuff like that. Use those in plumbing all the time. We also use it in currency. I know that nickels are actually a copper alloy that do contain some nickel, but are actually mostly copper. In fact, our dimes and our quarters are also mostly copper with that same alloy as a skin. And then you got pennies, which are plated in copper but are mostly zinc. Yeah, wiring, pretty obvious. There's copper all around you right now if you are indoors. And if you're outdoors and you're watching this on a device, then yeah, you got copper right in front of your face. If you're not watching this on some sort of electronic device, who are you? This wouldn't be possible without copper. Anyway, as far as decoration and jewelry is concerned, copper's sort of used. Copper is mostly alloyed with stuff like gold for that, but on occasion you will find straight up copper stuff, or tellurium copper. And one thing I just gotta say about copper and tellurium alloys is that it's rather cute. I gotta make a joke at least once. And clothing. Yeah, there's been this recent thing where like they'll weave some copper into some fabric for some sort of reason or another. Not sure. I know that copper has some antimicrobial properties to it, but not sure what else it does, so can't really speak too much on that, medically speaking. And speaking of medical stuff, copper toxicity, because that is something I try and cover in every one of these videos. So yeah, most of the time the body can actually deal with copper pretty well. In fact, it's actually something we get in our diet every day, and there is a need for copper in our diet. Now, sometimes our bodies don't deal with copper very well, and there are specific genetic instances in which that is the case. But, you know, if there is an accumulation of copper, then occasionally you'll see it in the eyes. It's actually, I looked it up, it looks pretty cool, but, you know, a little bit dangerous. It'll also cause some serious liver and kidney issues, and so some of the effects of those will start coming up, and just in general, you'll have a really bad day. But yeah, copper toxicity, not fun. Anyway, what I use copper for, mostly just alloys. I mean, copper's getting a little bit more rare these days, so I'm a little bit more hesitant to use it, but you know, it's still out there, and I still got pretty good access to it. So I'm certainly not done working it yet, but I am slowing down a bit because the price of copper has gone up considerably, so I'm probably going to hang on to what I have in its pure form and just sort of cut it off there. If I find any brass or anything like that, I might actually refine the zinc out of it, who knows, because zinc is cheap, copper is not. Yeah, I guess with that, I'll just end it right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff, help out the algorithm. As it is right now, my short videos have been doing very well. Like, wow, a couple days and they're pretty much like at 1,000 views, so I'm like, yeah! Who knows, by the time this is let out, 1,000 views might be commonplace, but I could just be optimistic. I don't know, but I know the shorts are doing really well, so thank you guys for one, but yeah, cool stuff, cool stuff. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.